Top 10 cities with the highest property prices. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, we're about to take a look at the most expensive cities in the world, at least from a luxury property price. We know most of you have a passion for real estate and would one day love to own properties all around the world. So we wanted to give you a heads up on how expensive some of these cities are. We've put together the list of 10 cities with the highest property prices in the world. Let's get started. Number 10, Singapore, $13,750 per square meter. You guys know how we feel about Singapore. We even have a dedicated video to this incredible city, which you can check out in the top right corner. With nearly 6 million people living in this city-state, Singapore is the world's third most populous sovereign state after Macau and Monaco. The population is 19,910 per square mile. The living cost in Singapore is the highest in Southeast Asia. To live here, you need around $3,500 monthly for a typical city apartment. And for the buying price, it is around $13,750 per square meter. So the cost of a 120 square meter apartment in Singapore is nearly $1.7 million. Number 9, Tokyo, Japan, $13,800 per square meter. Tokyo Metropolis is the capital of Japan. It is the center of the country's pretty much everything, and its metropolitan area is the most populous in the whole world. There are nearly 14 million people living in the metropolis without even adding the tourists. Usually, a crowded metropolis can be hard to live in, but Tokyo, with all of its technology and hospitality, breaks that barrier with an incredibly low crime rate, ranking high up in the Safe City Index. Renting a place in the metropolitan area of Tokyo costs you around $4,750 per month, and to buy one, it costs $13,800 per square meter, which means you will need $1.65 million to own a 120 square meter apartment here. Number 8, Paris, France, $14,000 per square meter. Paris is one of the most populous cities in the world. It combines history and modern era in a way that no other city can do. Many people dream of living or even visiting this beautiful place. Why wouldn't they? The city covers almost everything from history, culture, fashion, cuisine to sports. With 55,000 inhabitants per square mile, Paris demands a high accommodation cost. $5,500 per month is what you need to pay your apartment rent, and the buying price for a typical city apartment here is around $14,000 per square meter. So, to own a 120 square meter apartment, you need to spend around $1.7 million. Number 7, Vienna, Austria, $14,500 per square meter. We are halfway through our list, and it seems like the capital city pattern holds. Vienna is also the country's capital city, and it is the largest in Austria. Nearly 2 million people live here in the primary city, which means its population density is 11,205 inhabitants per square mile. Here is an interesting fact. Vienna is the second largest German-speaking city in the entire world after Berlin. Vienna is commonly known as the city of music. Some of the world's legendary musicians came from this part of the world. Among them are Johann Strauss I and II, Franz Schubert, Anton Webern, and Louis Austin, plus other legendary musicians such as Beethoven and Mozart came to work here. To live in this legendary city, you need at least $3,000 to rent a place for a month. And if you are looking to own a place in the city of Vienna, you should know that the buying price is around $14,500 per square meter. So to purchase a 120 square meter apartment, you will need around $1.75 million. We were really surprised to discover that Vienna's real estate is actually more expensive than the one in Paris. We were not expecting that. Maybe that's why it's considered to be the most beautiful city in Europe. Number 6, Geneva, Switzerland, $15,500 per square meter. Oh, you guys know how we love Switzerland and especially Geneva. The city is only around 6 square miles wide, with nearly 200,000 people living in it. Its population density is 32,000 inhabitants per square mile. The United Nations and Red Cross are headquartered here. It's home to one of the most expensive hotels in the world, and it's one of the top places where billionaires go to hide their money. To rent a decent apartment in the city of Geneva, you need around $5,000 monthly. And to own one, assuming the apartment size is 120 square meters, you need around $1.85 million. Number 5. Moscow, Russia. $16,000 per square meter. There are over 12 million people living in this capital city of Russia, with 12,575 inhabitants per square mile. It makes Moscow the most populous city in Russia and 11th in the world. Moscow is well renowned for its architecture, especially its historic buildings. My favorite is the St. Basil's Cathedral. Nothing lights up the city's skyline during the day like its brightly colored domes. Plus, it has the largest forest in an urban area. Living close to nature is just the healthiest way of life. To have this way of life in Moscow, you need around $5,000 to rent a decent apartment in the city area. With around $16,000 per square meter of buying price and an average apartment size is 120 square meters, you need nearly $2 million to own one. Number 4. New York City, United States. $18,500 per square meter. New York City, or New York, goes by so many nicknames, but most people around the world know it as the Big Apple. Do you know where the nickname came from? Back in the 1920s, John Fitzgerald called New York the Big Apple as a reference to the city's popularity and achievement in horse racing. Then in the 1970s, the nickname was made popular through an advertisement. We made a video about 15 things you didn't know about New York a while back, which we definitely recommend you check out if you want to learn more cool facts about this city. The buying price of a typical 120 square meter apartment is around $18,500 per square meter. So to buy one, you need $2.2 million. And to rent one, you need $7,250 per month. Number 3. Hong Kong, $25,500 per square meter. We are reaching the top 3 of our list of cities with the highest property price, and on third position we have the sovereign state of China, Hong Kong, with $25,500 per square meter of apartment buying price. So if we use 120 square meters as the average apartment size in the city, to live in Hong Kong you need around $7,000 for monthly rent or $3 million for a purchase. That is a staggering number compared to other cities in Asia. Billionaires flock to Hong Kong to preserve their wealth. Besides competing with billionaires and millionaires to get a place to live here, you also need to compete with over 7 million people who already live in Hong Kong today. 17,024 inhabitants per square mile is a pretty high population density. Number 2. London, United Kingdom. $34,500 per square meter. There are nearly 9 million people living in Greater London today, making its population density to 14,290 inhabitants per square mile. That excludes visiting tourists and international students. Then it should come as no surprise that renting an apartment in London costs you around $11,000 per month. But according to the UK's government data, since the establishment of more affordable homes for Londoners, there are places in central London with only $2,000 of monthly rental costs. Nobody knows where those places are though. With the average size of 120 square meters for a typical city apartment and a staggering $34,500 per square meter buying price, you need over $4 million to buy one apartment in London. Number 1. Monaco, $60,000 per square meter. And the most expensive city in the world with the highest property price is my dream city, Monaco. If you want to know more, we made a video on why the rich and famous choose to live in Monaco that covers everything you need to know. Monaco is a small area located beyond the hills of France and on the edge of the Mediterranean Sea. It is less than 1 square mile wide, and there are no more than 40,000 people living in it. But among those 40,000 people are some of the world's richest. They have no problems with renting apartments in Monaco, and they don't mind with its $60,000 per square meter buying price either. One typical 120 square meter decent apartment in Monaco cost over $7 million. And with celebrities as neighbours, that number will only go higher. If you were to live in any of these cities, where would you live? We'll be in the comments, replying as always. As a bonus for sticking with us till the end, we're thinking one question more. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxa. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos we think you might enjoy. Or head over to our website to connect with luxury enthusiasts as yourself. See you inside.